Hi everybody. I'm not too sure what the weather's like where you are in the country, but in East Kent we've had an awful lot of snow and there's still more coming down as of the 1st of March at 10:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's quite bad. It's absolutely freezing. I checked the temperature about an hour ago and it was -5 here in East Kent, but yeah, really cold. Anyway, back to this video. What I want to show you is the difference the sound makes in my Deltics using these Megabass speakers again in as I put in my HST. So I thought I'll try them again in my Deltics. If the sound improves considerably, I will put them in class 37s, class 47s and so on. The EM2 speakers, if I can fit them in, I'd rather have them, but there are an awful lot of locomotives they will not go in because of the size. You'd have to do an awful lot of alterations on the chassis, which I'm not prepared to do. I don't mind cutting some of the chassis away, but the chap who used to do it at DC Kits, who no longer does it for various reasons, used to realign the drive shafts after he cut quite a lot of the chassis away, which gave a number of problems to people. But this one, these are my pair of Deltics. There's the blue one and there's the is it DP2 matched pair in this nice box. So I thought I'll try the blue one first. So I'm just going to pause this video so I can put the blue one on the track. I won't be long. Oh, hi again. This is the blue Deltic from that nice presentation box I showed you a short while ago. I thought I'll try this blue one first. And the blue one has what was regarded as a really good bass speaker. I put it in a sound box and put black tack all the way around to seal it. What I'll do now is I'll start this one up so you can hear the sounds of the Deltic via this speaker, and then I'll pause the video. I'll then install this in here. Can you put it here or there? Now what I will have to do, it's a bit tight in there, it's going to have to go here. What I'll have to do, I've briefly looked at installing this Megabass speaker, and you can see these black panels here. Let's zoom in a bit. Move it over. These black panels here, they seem to just darken the windows here. I'm not too sure why. Maybe it's to hide the speaker if you intend to put a speaker in here. So what it looks like I'm going to have to do is, I don't think the recess is going to be big enough, so what I'm going to have to do is maybe just cut these out, these side panels here, because they don't seem to serve a purpose. Because I've had a good look through the windows, and the black side of this Megabass speaker will probably do the same job as this. So hopefully I'm just going to be able to sit it in there. If the worst case scenario is I may have to just Dremel these bits out, so it'll sit down, but hopefully it won't, and it'll sit in the roof quite nicely. So here goes. I'll try this one first and see what you think. So here's this speaker. Let me zoom out a bit. So here goes. Now I haven't altered the volume of this at all, so it's the default sound project from Megaman Biffo. I reblew this chip with his sounds. Yeah, I would have thought the Deltic should be more throaty than this. I'm assuming it's because of this speaker. So I'm hoping it's going to be a big change when I replace the speaker. Let's run it a little bit. I love that Deltic sound. But for me, that Deltic sound then needs a much better speaker to bring out that burble sound. Let me just slow it down. Should return to idle any time now. I hope. Unless that's it. Anyway, I'll stop this now and I'll replace the speaker and I'll show you the difference. So thanks very much for your time. Hi again. Update to the first part of this video is I tried to install one of these Megabass speakers, cutting away the maximum I wanted to cut away from the chassis. It still wouldn't go in. There's an awful lot of recesses inside the body that prevents this from going high enough. So I really I gave up. You can see there's an awful lot stopping it, and I didn't want to cut any of the body away or any more of the chassis. So I gave up on this occasion, using the Megabass speaker. What I have used is one of the twin 3D speakers, which sounds just as good as this. One of the reasons this has such a good bass burble sound is because of the size of the sound box. I could have cut the sound box down, which is what the seller of these Megabass speakers did on one of his locomotives, and then put it in the fuel tanks. I didn't want to cut it down. I'm sure it'll go in my other locomotives. I have no intentions of putting anything in the fuel tanks of these, because these are quite nicely detailed fuel tanks, not like the sort of slightly cheaper version of the Deltic, where it's quite big. So I wasn't prepared to put the speaker, let's turn it upside down, anywhere in there. It just wasn't worth the effort of getting to it. What I've also started to do is these small black things here that hold the wire in position. I'm never happy they're reliable and make a decent enough contact, so I've started to take them off and solder the wires on. They're more reliable, better connection, and they don't pop off as easy as this. Talking about popping off, in typical style, the wires on the circuit board are very flimsy, and it doesn't take a great deal of movement for them to pop off. If you've got good soldering skills, you know, soldering them back onto the PCB is, in most cases, you've got to do it. What I did to get this large speaker installed, I cut away the chassis. Oops, get it in shot. Just this bit. about 4mm down on both sides, and it fits in quite nicely. I moved the PCB over slightly, and I've used black tack to hold it down, which is quite strong, because obviously the two screw points no longer match up. What I did discover is if I moved up slightly more and cut away a little bit more of the body, let's get in shot, a little bit more of the body, I can get one of these to fit in. What I may have had to do is maybe another millimetre or two down the sides, but on this occasion I didn't want to. I'm quite happy with these 3D speakers. So what I'll do is I'll put it all together, I'll put a top on, and I'll let you listen to it. So I'll be back soon. Bye for now. Hi again. Welcome back to this final part. I put it all together, and I'll show you it working, or you can listen to it working. Here goes. There goes. Try a couple of horns. Try running it. I do like the sound that Deltic makes. Slow it down now. We'll turn it off. I think I'll alter the CV on this. Might be a bit too loud. Off camera, it's extremely loud. Because I like the burble the Deltic makes, I think I'll have a go at a later date installing the EM2 speakers in these. I've identified that I can do it, and just a little bit more of the chassis, probably about 2mm downwards, and about 2mm that way, and just move the PCB board over a couple of millimeters, and there is room, so I may do that. Biff, commonly known as Lego Man Biffo, is sending me free of charges, because I bought the sound projects off him in the past. He's sending me the updated project for the Deltic, which includes his drive lock. So I'll just reblow the chip in this with Biff's new sound. Yeah, if you're thinking about installing Megabass speaker in one of these, if it's this particular model with this particular fuel tanks, I would advise against it. If it's the sort of cheaper model, I say cheaper, there is a model where the fuel tanks are different than this, then you may well fit it in. But I think you'll have to cut some of the chassis away below the motor. I don't know, I didn't go down that far. So whatever's above the fuel tanks, if there's space, you might get away with it. If not, you may need to cut some of the chassis away. In the top, it's a no-go because of the detailing in the body, which is why I put that twin 3D speaker in there. And the twin speaker sounds just as good, if not better, than the Megabass, because it's designed for that sort of project. But there is a very good chance in the not too distant future, or I may wait till my main layout's built, I may change it to the EM2 speakers, and then the burble sound will be fantastic, because I do like the EM2 speakers, but they're just unfortunate that hard to install. In most cases you have to cut the chassis. I've no intentions of doing what the chap at DC Kits used to do before he stopped, and that is to realign the drive shafts and cut the chassis away. I've no intention of doing that. Just cutting this chassis away at the top is the most I want to do, because I don't think it does the chassis any good cutting too much of it away. So that's it for this project. I'll do the green matching Deltic now in that little wooden box I showed you, and then put it away till my main layout's built. I will be, once my wife has sorted the middle bedroom out, I will be doing the 5 foot by 4 foot layout, and I'll tell you more about that, and a particular giveaway when I get around to showing you my plans for the 5 foot by 4 foot layout. So I hope you found this informative, and if you need any help or advice on installing larger speakers, please feel free to ask. As mentioned, these twin 3D speakers work just as well as the bass Megabass speaker. But yeah, thanks very much for your time. See you soon.